Hello children, I hope you are feeling happy and strong. Welcome to this special English hour where we will learn lots of new things and have lots of fun. Are you ready? Let's get started. Children, do you play sports? I'm sure you all must be playing sports or you at least watch a sport. Which is your favorite sport? When I was in school, I loved running and I still do. If I get time, I try to go for a run. Do you think it is important to play sports? Yes, playing sports is very important. We learn a lot of things from sport and number one being patience. They say that patience is the key to success. When we play is to win the game and to win the game we need to be patient. We have slow learners and we have fast learners in a team. But we need to understand that we all should be playing as a team. So the second important thing that we learn from sports is team building. The third important skill that we learn from sport is discipline. To play a sport, it is very important to have discipline. Only with discipline will we be able to learn something. And when we learn a sport, we automatically learn discipline. And this discipline also affects our life. The fourth and the most important benefit of playing a sport is health. If we play a sport, we are healthy. Lagori, Gilli Danda, Kushti and Kabaddi are some of the most popular games in our country. But why am I talking about these games? Our today's lesson is about Kabaddi. Kabaddi is one of the most popular games in Indian subcontinent. This game is played between two teams and each team has 7 players. Now, let's learn some new words. You will see these words in the story. So, I would request you to please pay attention while I read out these words. Sufficient, sufficient, sufficient. Opposition, opposition, opposition. Outstanding, outstanding, outstanding. Metal, metal, metal. Raiders, raiders, raiders. I hope you remember these words when we read our story. Now, let's read a story from our textbook. The name of the story is A Kabaddi Match and this story is on page number 12 of your textbook. So, please open page number 12. I will be reading the story and I will request you to point at the words as I read them. And if you don't have a textbook, listen to me carefully. The school sports meet was scheduled next month. The practice matches had already begun. 9B were the favorites as they had strong players in their team. The Kabaddi trials were on. This year, there were 3 new students in the class 9A. To everyone's surprise, they proved to be outstanding players. 9A's hopes soared. This paragraph talks about the school sports, and the school sports were going to happen in the next month. So before that, all the students had started practicing. Everybody loved the team from 9th B class. They had very strong players. There were also trials happening for Kabaddi, and this year there were new students from the class 9A. Everybody was surprised when they proved to be outstanding players. Now 9A's hopes soared. When the match started, all the spectators clapped and boosted the morale of both the teams. 9A won the toss and sent their raider Govind. He was so swift that before the opponents realized it, he had touched Suresh from 9B and was already heading home. A point was scored. Ravi from 9B was a very strong player. He alone was sufficient to catch hold of any player so tightly in between his legs, twisted like scissors, that releasing oneself from his grip was next to impossible. All the players were literally afraid of him. This ace player had won many matches for 9B. With the support of Mohan and Vinod, 9B were unbeatable. This paragraph talks about the players of 9B. One such player was Ravi. He would catch hold of any player in his legs and twist them like scissors. It would be very difficult to get oneself out from his grip. Everyone was afraid of Ravi. With the help of Ravi, 9B had won many matches. This paragraph also talks about players from 9B like Mohan and Vinod. Mangesh from 9A was also strong. He was a good match for Ravi. Ravi was relaxed as he had never dreamt of any strong opposition from any team. When Mangesh was wrestled down by Ravi and his friends, everyone in the spectators thought that 9A would lose Mangesh. But Mangesh proved his mettle. He was on the ground with the anti-raiders, catching hold of his waist and legs. Slowly, he inched towards his coat. All the anti-raiders, with all their might, were trying their best to pull him back. But with great determination and without losing his breath, Mangesh successfully touched the midline. There were cheers in the air. He had not only saved himself but was also able to score 3 points for his team as Ravi, Mohan and Ajinkya, who were holding him, were also declared out. Now 9B began to play cautiously. Mihir, one of their raiders, even managed to tag Sohan in 9A. Nothing much happened in the next few raids. Now it was Vivek's raid. He always played with strategies and they worked fine. The remaining 3 players from 9B trapped Vivek. He slowly moved back towards his court. The 3 anti-raiders also moved with him. When they caught his arm and were trying to pull him back, Vivek slipped his leg beyond the midline with the anti-raiders still hanging onto his arm. Oh! The whole of the 9B team was declared out. This paragraph is talking about the strategies that the class 9B used. Mihir, who was a player of 9B, managed to touch Sohan from 9A. Now it was Vivek's turn. He always had plans and his plans always worked. The remaining 3 players from the class 9B were able to track Vivek. He tried to slowly move back towards his court. Now, the 3 players from the opposition team also tried to move with Vivek. When they caught his arm and were trying to pull him back, Vivek slipped his leg beyond the midline. This meant that the whole of 9B team was declared out. 9A had actually managed to get 3 more bonus points of Lona. It was an icing on the cake. What an enviable score! It set the heads of 9B reeling. Because of their win, 9A class felt very happy. After the half-time break, the star players of 9A were full of confidence. Once again, they managed to catch hold of the ace raiders Mohan, Ajinkya and Ravi. 9A outplayed 9B in all the areas of Kabaddi. Their team spirit, their confidence, their strategies, their swiftness, suppleness helped them to beat 9B, who had never tasted defeat earlier. This paragraph talks about the performance of 9A class. They were feeling very confident. Kabaddi is an ancient sport. It originated in India and has now become popular in many countries, so that many international events are organized. In these events, international rules are followed, but several other Kabaddi styles such as Sanjeevani, Gamini, Amar, etc. are followed in different parts of India. In Kabaddi, 2 teams of 7 members each face each other in a flat rectangular court divided by a midline. The game is usually played in 2 halves with a half-time break in between. After the break, the teams exchange their sides in the court. In this paragraph, we see information about the game of Kabaddi. It talks about the number of players in each team and where this game is played. It also mentions a few rules about the sport. To play the game, each team sends raiders across the midline to the other team. The raider tries to tag the opponents and run back to his side, all in one breath. Here, they are talking about how the game Kabaddi is played. Each team sends a few teammates to the other side of the team. These teammates are called raiders. These few people have to reach the other side of the team and tag them and run back to their own team in one breath. To show that he hasn't inhaled again, he has to chant Kabaddi Kabaddi all the time. If he has to inhale again, he is out. The opponents try to catch the raider and stop him going back to his half till he loses his breath and has to inhale again. If the raider manages to go back successfully, all the persons he has tagged and all those who have touched him are declared out. For each player declared out, the opposite team scores a point. So, if I touch 4 players, I will get 4 points. If all the 7 players in a team are out, the opposite team gets bonus points, a Lona. The team with the maximum points wins the match. If I am able to tag all the 7 people, my team will get bonus points. The game of Kabaddi requires good health, muscular strength, strategic skills, a lot of practice and above all, great determination. Indian girls and boys have always excelled at Kabaddi. Would you like to be an ace Kabaddi player when you are a little older? Who knows, if you make a resolve now, one day you may help win glory for your school, district or even the state and the country. To sum it all up, Kabaddi is a sport that has been played in our country for a very long time. This game requires a lot of hard work and strategy. I hope you liked this story that represented how a typical Kabaddi match looks like. I hope your knowledge about Kabaddi has increased. Now, let's do an activity. This activity is about degrees of comparison. Degrees of comparisons are forms of adjectives. There are 3 types of degrees of comparison. Let's have a look what they are. Degrees of comparison, and there are 3 types. The first is called positive degree. The second is called comparative degree, and the third is called superlative degree. These are the 3 degrees of comparison or forms of adjectives. Now I will give you a few examples to describe what each of these degrees of comparison mean. Now I will give you an example of positive degree. Under positive degree, a sentence would look like India is a great country. This is a simple sentence. This is a positive sentence. So under positive degree, a sentence would look like India is a great country. Can you tell me what the adjective is in this sentence? Yes, the adjective used in this sentence is great. How is India? India is a great country. Now I will give you an example of comparative degree. A sentence under comparative degree would look something like this. Train runs faster than the bus. Can you tell me what is the adjective here? The adjective is faster. How does the train run? Faster. Now, can you tell me why is this a comparative degree? This is a comparative degree because there is a comparison between two things, train and bus. I am saying that train is faster than the bus, which means faster is the comparative word. There is a comparison between train and bus. So whenever we see a word ending with ER, we call it comparative degree. An adjective ending with ER is comparative degree. Now I will give you an example of superlative degree. A sentence under superlative degree would look something like this. Lead is the heaviest of all the metals. Now, in superlative degree, I have used the sentence lead is the heaviest of all the metals. There is no comparison of lead with any other metal. It is saying that it is the heaviest, which means no other metal is heavy. So here heaviest will be superlative degree. Just like we learned about comparative degree that the word ends in ER, for superlative degree the word ends in ST. So if you want to remember what comparative degree is, you need to remember that the word will end with ER. For superlative degree, the word will end with ST. Now let's do an activity. On your screen, you will see a few words. What you have to do is write down their positive, comparative and superlative forms. Are you ready? Come on. The positive form is good. Its comparative degree will be better and its superlative degree will be best. The positive word is strong. Its comparative degree will be stronger and its superlative degree will be strongest. When the positive word is swift, its comparative degree will be swifter and its superlative degree will be swiftest. The word is tight and its comparative degree will be tighter and its superlative degree will be tightest. The next word is early. Its comparative degree will be earlier and its superlative degree will be earliest. Children, I hope you had fun in today's session. We learned many new things and we will continue learning new things. I will see you in our next session. Until then, take care and stay safe. Bye.